Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. As Emily said, my name is Margie Lehrman, and I am the CEO of the American Craft Spirits Association. I have a question for you all, and I'd like to see you raise your hand. How many of you have ever been to Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Europe? Anyone? Okay. How is that at all related? You heard the title of this presentation. You're here because you want to know what is it about a sense of place. I think Disney has probably mastered what it is to create a visitor experience. So as we're going through this, and you listen to our first presenter, Jason, who's going to be talking to you about what is a visitor experience? What are some of the parameters that you should be looking at? And then Tom Mooney speaking about consumers coming into the tasting room, into the distillery. What does that mean? And then followed by Guillermo, who is going to be telling you about what happens when he brings the trade into his space. Before we get there, I just want to share a fact with you. The American Craft Spirits Association partnered with Park Street and the IWSR to create an economic data study for our industry. One had never previously been done, looking only at craft spirits producers. Why is it important to get folks into your tasting room, into your own place? Well, for large producers in the United States, and we define large producers are those who are producing 100,000 proof gallons or more, up to actually 750,000 proof gallons. Roughly 18% of total sales annually come from their place, right? Go to medium, that number goes up just a little bit, but look at that huge jump when you're looking at the small distilleries. Roughly 40% of their overall business comes from the distillery itself. Since I can't bring you all to the United States and introduce you to some of our member producers, we're going to take a very quick tour. New York Distilling Company, annual visitors 15,000 per year. Is that notable? Absolutely. Brooklyn itself has 2.5 million visitors overall, but they have at least 15,000 come through. Backwards Distilling, Casper, Wyoming, 40,000 they estimate at the end of this year. Why is that particularly noteworthy? The entire state only has 500,000 people in it. How about Driftless Glen? Baraboo, Wisconsin. Has anyone ever heard of Baraboo, Wisconsin? Has anyone ever heard of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus? Okay, it started in Baraboo, Wisconsin. They have a beautiful, beautiful restaurant facility. They get 54,000 coming to the restaurant alone. St. Augustine Distillery, Fountain of Youth, Florida. Annual visitors, 160,000 coming through. And then we move to something just a little bit smaller, Headframe Spirits, Butte, Montana. They have told me that they get thousands of distillers. It is a natural hotspot if you come into the state. They do work very closely with tourism boards to make it happen. And then finally, Blom Brothers Distillery in Galena, Illinois. Anyone ever heard of Galena? Okay, little known fact, Ronald Reagan was actually born in Galena, Illinois. Not connected with the distillery, however. They have a wonderful, wonderful program with their tourism office, bringing in over 1 million visitors to that particular city. The city itself, get this, only 3,000 residents, and yet 1 million people come into that city. So the question is, how do you make it happen? How do you make it work? How do you create that not only visitors experience, but then also translate that into having loyal customers? And the panel is going to tell you all how to do it. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Jason Dobson, Contagious.